I am going to try so hard to do this video in 5 minutes or less. So hard to do this in 5 minutes or less. But first I want to quote someone, and I don't even remember who said the quote. Maybe you've heard it before. Maybe you've heard it thousands of times. I think it was Henry Ford, but other people have said that it was Teddy Roosevelt. But what they said was this: whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. How awesome is it to always be right? Welcome to Leading Leaders Podcast. 5-minute videos, 5 days a week. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. And that statement is absolutely true. Whether you believe you can or you believe you cannot, you are right. And that's exactly what's going to come to pass. Whether you believe that you're a failure or you don't believe that you're a failure, you're right. If you believe that there's no way you could succeed because everything in the world is against you, you will not succeed. Even if all the restrictions that you perceive to be against you were simply removed, you will not succeed. Why? Because you believe you can't. Not because everything else is stopping you, but because you believe you can't. And so long as you believe you can't, the truth is, you won't. When we talk about core values, the one thing that changes everything is attitude. And attitude and mindset are inextricable. An attitude, as we've talked about before, is how you think about what you feel and what you feel about what you think. And if a new thought comes into your mind and you feel negative about that, that attitude is going to permeate everything else in your life. The mindset. Dr. Dwick wrote about the idea of a growth mindset, the ability to always be adapting to new things, adapting to new change, the ability to forget the old ways and move forward with new ways. And some of her stuff I disagree with based on my comprehension of theology, and they're pretty significant. But the concept that your mindset has always got to be growing toward the future, I absolutely agree with. I do agree that we've got to constantly be looking at the new challenges and asking, not why can I not do this, but how could I do it? I love the way Paul Martinelli says it. He said, if somebody were to ask you, can you make $100,000 this year? Rather than saying, oh, I can't make $100,000 a year, simply rephrase the statement into a question. How can I make $100,000 this year? I don't care who it is you're listening to, whether it's Dave Ramsey or it's Laurel Langmeyer or it's Paul Martinelli. There are hundreds of thousands of people. Just go to YouTube and look it up. There are hundreds of thousands of ways to make money. There's a nice little book called 30 Days to Fast Cash by Laurel Langmeyer that has a list of some 400 different ways that you could pick up extra money if you're willing to do the work. Not waiting for the government, not waiting for somebody else to give it to you, not waiting for it to grow on a tree or show up in your bank account, but little ways that you can do little things that require little effort and very little, if any, investment to put more money in your pocket. If what you need in your life is more money in your pocket, there are ways to put more money in your pocket. It's not impossible, but whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Your greatest core value is your mindset because it manages your attitude. Your mindset is where you frame yourself in this world. It's how you decide who you will be. And if you are going to be significant in this world, you've got to see yourself as significant in this world. Otherwise, you'll spend the rest of your life as a submissive. Now I'm going to draw two really wild, divergent ideas together. It's going to require you to grab a dictionary unless you follow my Facebook timeline on my personal profile. Look up the word pederasty. Pederasty, P-E-D-E-R-A-S-T-Y, pederasty. And I want you to understand that the relationship was key. Almost as relevant as the people in the relationship, but the relationship style was key. And it required that one be submissive, that one surrender and submit with no value for themselves at all. In fact, their wants, needs, and desires were completely ignored in that relationship. Look it up, read it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But that kind of mindset will never lead you on a path to success. Oh yes, but the dominant loves that kind of mindset because it gives them someone to control. So long as someone else can control your thoughts, your emotions, your attitude, your mindset, you don't have liberty. You don't have freedom. You're not an individual. You're a submissive, part of the chain, part of the process. And if that's all you want to be in life, then just see yourself that way, because whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. The one thing they can never take away from you, according to Viktor Frankl, is your mindset. Manage your attitude. Make that your most important, strongest core value, and you can change your life and the life of people around you. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day. Subscribe now for our extensive video library of leadership lessons promoting faith, family, and freedom.